this is what I want to draw for this project. It's not really hard to do, and I'm going to go step by step, and I'll try to go slow enough that you can stay caught up. But if you get behind, just skip over that part and get back with me, what I'm doing, and then you can go back and fill in those missing parts. It really won't be that hard. If yours is not exactly like mine, that's fine. It's art. It can be completely different. If you want to do creative thinking, you can make yours any way you want it. To get started, you need to put our finger down here near the bottom, but not really close to the bottom, just about right there. I'll show you. And I'm going to make my dots kind of big so they show up better on the video. And from that dot, I'm going to run my line this way. And I'm not worried about it being straight. As a matter of fact, I would rather it not be straight. And then I'm going to move up the line, and I'm going to put this dot because we're going to hook something onto that in a minute. We're going to hook on and go this other direction over here. And it just gives us a way of getting our line started in the right place. I'm going to go off the edge over here somewhere. I'm not sure where because I'm just going to work my way over there. I'm not worried about how perfect this line is. It actually doesn't need to be perfect. Go in here somewhere. It doesn't have to be exactly where I've got my finger, but go straight up with a short line and then put a dot on top of that line. Once again, it'll help us to get our new line started in the right place. From that dot, go off the edge of the paper. Go on this line somewhere and put another straight up and down line. Put a dot at the top, hook onto the dot, and run that off the edge. Now here's a really important part. We put these dots so that we could get back to them more easily. So let's get back on this dot here and let's shortcut down to this line like that. Just shortcut. And then you can just shade that in with the tip of your pencil. Shading helps it to look 3D. And this is simple shading, and it'll make it look better. Get on this dot. We put that dot a while ago. We're going to go back to that dot and shortcut down to that line. And then I'm just going to hatch this in. Hatching is just when you put little lines side by side to darken in an area. Alright, well, let's go over this side. I think we'll just do one over here. Just put your finger somewhere, put a straight up and down line, put a dot at the top, and run off the edge of the paper. Let's go back to that dot and let's shortcut down to the other line, and I'm going to hatch this in these little straight lines. Okay, now let's go down here in the corner. We're going to put 3 dots. Just one right in here anywhere. It doesn't really matter exactly where, just in this area. And we're going to put 2 dots over here. Let's spread them apart like that. Okay, now we're going to go from dot to dot. Let's just do that. It doesn't have to be straight. As a matter of fact, it's better if it's not straight. And let's go dot to dot. Back to this dot and just curve it around like that. If it runs off the edge, it's okay, but if you keep it short like mine, that'll work too. Let's put a dot on this line here. And we're going to make a little curve. I'll show you. It's like the front of a letter D. Let's get back on that dot, like the front of a letter D, only we just keep going. Now, just hook onto this somewhere and come off the bottom. 1, 2, 1, 2, and you don't have to put those. Alright, go up on this line about this far, and let's put a dot, and let's skip over. I'm going to skip over about 3 fingers, just straight across, just straight over, and I'm going to put a dot right there. Now I'm going to put this rainbow shape. It's like this. It's like this. So I'm going to practice it with my finger, and then I'm going to draw it. And if it's not perfectly round, it doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm going to go up on this line a little bit, maybe about right there. And I'm going to go from dot to dot, but then I'm going to keep going. From dot to dot, but don't stop. Just keep it going. If you run off the bottom, that's fine. We can go back in here and put little straight up and down lines like this. When you're on this side, put them close together. And when you're on this side, spread them out. That's hatching, and it helps create the illusion that this is a tunnel or a cave, that you're going back up in there. Alright, right over top this rainbow shape, if you've got room, put another one like that. And then we're going to hook back on and just run it back that way. If you run off the edge, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. We're going to hook on and make like a curved line, like we're going to make a C, but then we don't finish it a couple times. It just helps create the idea or the illusion that this is round. You know, we're drawing on a flat surface, so we have to make things look a little bit 3D whenever we can. Now we're going to go over here and just put a line like that. Just let it slant some. Put a point right there, hook on, and just swing that line out like that. Go back to that point and just run it out the other way. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. We're just making some places on the ground where it shows like it's not smooth. Rocky formations. Now go over here somewhere, wherever this line is, just go straight up and down for a little bit. Put a dot. We want to get back to the right place. It helps eliminate confusion about where the line starts. Let's start a line right there. Let's hook on and let's just run it back that way. And then we're going to do the shortcut. We're going to get back on that dot and shortcut. I'm going to hatch that in or shade that in. Hatching is a way to shade. It's simple shading, but it works. And we could put a few hatch lines in here, and that will help it look 3D. Three-dimensional, occupying real space. Now we want to put these trees, and I want you to notice they go all the way across. This is going to take some time, so don't get impatient or in a hurry. We're going to work these trees across. It's a really important part of the picture, and so I think I've got an easy way to do it. Just put your finger over here at the edge, right under that line, and then slide your finger above the line, and it's like we're going to give our finger a hairdo, a curly one. Just like that. Move over right beside what you just did and put little curved lines again. We want to stay down close to this See, we don't want the trees running up in there. We want to stay down close to the ground. These trees are far away, so let's put our finger down here on the line, slide up, and go like this. Now, if these two trees don't touch each other, just put a little curved line and make them touch each other. There could be gaps in them, but it's going to be easier if we just do it this way. Now, put your finger up here. This time we may go up a little bit further than our finger. Curve, curve, curve. 1, 2, 3. If they don't touch, just put a little piece in there to make them touch. This is where we're going to put all of our beautiful fall colors, reds and yellows, and oranges. Put your finger beside it. This takes a little time, but you know what? Good work takes time. Like that. Now, slide your finger up in here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And if they don't connect together, just put a little piece in between them. Slide your finger up. 1, 2, 3. Make that tree. So what if we wanted a tree that's a little bit taller? Well, just put your finger here, and when you do your first few curvy lines, just go uphill. And when you do your next set of curvy lines, just go downhill. And there's a little tree that sticks up a little bit. Not exactly like that one, but similar. We don't want these to get, we don't want some to be really tall and some to be really, really short. We want to kind of keep that line across there. Alright, just put your finger near that one and do the same thing. Keep on going. Take your time. Take your time. Good work. Takes time. Anytime there's a little gap, then just fill in a gap with an extra little piece. Just join them together with a little curved line. It's just a simple way to make some pretty good looking trees. One more time. And this one gets me all the way to the edge, but now you may need, I don't know, 5 or 6 more trees across there. If you wanted to put another tree like that, you can, but don't get carried away with that. It will clutter it up. It'll be like too much stuff. We want to keep it simple. Let me put a couple of those, and that's it. We don't want to get too many things in here. Okay, we've got our cave, and we've got a few rocky things sticking out. We've got our trees. What do we need? We need this big sun. I don't think we're going to make it that big. I think we're going to make ours a little bit smaller, or that is not so far up in the sky. So I'm going to practice that first. I'm going to put my hand in there, and I'm going to put a dot over here near these tops of these trees, and I'm going to come way over, and do it again. I've got these 2 dots. They're hard to see because they're near those trees and they kind of blend in. But I'm going to make kind of a rainbow shape. And I'm going to practice that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that when I draw, I'm already familiar with how my pencil, or in this case my pen, should travel. I draw with a pen because it's easier for people to see that are watching the video. Alright, I didn't hit this dot, but that's not important. The important thing is that we just get a curved line across there. Now what about the bats? we're going to draw, I think we're just going to draw one bat, and then you can draw more if you want to. I'll show you how to make the first one. And we're going to do a bat that is simpler than this. This one's a little bit hard to draw. So I'm going to start with a circle, and I'm going to give it 2 pointed ears, like that. And let me get in a little closer. Now, I'm going to go up here and jump away from the ear and put a dot, and I'm going to jump away from the ear and put a dot. Over here, I'm going to make a curved line as if I'm making a C, but I'm going to bring it up and run into that circle. And on this side, it's curved like, sort of like a letter D. And just let your eye tell you what to do, because you can see that. I'm going to jump down from that circle and put a dot down here, because this helps me get my lines to go where I want them to go. Kind of gives me a target. And I'm going to curve down to that, like that. I'm going back to this point, and I'm just going to run a line out that way. And I'm going to this point, and I'm going to run a line the other way. Now the little curved lines I put on the bottoms of the wings are like little umbrellas, and it doesn't matter how many you put. There's 2, I don't know, I may have 4 or 5. It's like little umbrellas. And then you can just skip over the body and keep on going. Umbrella 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter if you have more, it doesn't matter if you have a few less. These lines that we're putting in now will most likely disappear when you color it, but it looks good during the drawing stage, so we'll put them anyway. You can even put a little face on the bat. Once again, that's going to disappear, but it looks good for now. Now, I'm going to just put a couple little lines like that bat just flew out of that cave. You don't have to do that. Now, I just did that to show motion. You don't have to do that. Now, we've got a lot of room up here in the sky to color in. That'll be easy to color because it's just open area. But down here on the trees, I'll show you how we're going to color those. I'm going to get out my fall colors, yellow and orange, and you can do that too. It might take you a minute to get your colors. I'm going to get yellow and orange. I like scarlet. It's a really nice bright red. I like scarlet. For the sky, I'm going to use purple, which is violet. For some reason, purple has 2 names. It's violet. Let's see. Violet and purple. Same color, 2 names. I do not know why. But somebody decided that purple needed to have 2 names. Okay, now for the ground, I'm just going to use a couple of shades of green, maybe some brown, gray and black, black and gray. And I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it. I've got my reds, oranges, and yellows for this. I've got my green, my 2 shades of green, and my black and gray for this. And I've got my purple for the sky. I think we're good to go. Alright, let me show you how we're going to draw or color the trees. When I color the trees, I just go with little circles until I get it filled in. Maybe for the next tree I might make it orange. And that's the way I'm going to color all of the trees. So let me show you how I'm going to work on the sky. Well, you know what? I'll do just a little bit of the sun right quick. When I do the sun, now I turn my paper until I'm comfortable. You can color however you want. This is how I'm comfortable. When I get in close to these trees, I'm going to go very slowly. If I run over top of the trees a little bit, well, they're going to be yellows and oranges too. That's okay on this picture, but it won't always be okay. So try to color neatly around those lines. And I like to run my crayon in this direction. It just works. It works very well for me. And color slow so that you can stay in the lines. Okay, let me show you on the sky. And then I'm going to let you color. I'm going to bring the sky all the way down to the trees, just like this. And then when I color, I just work my way up slowly toward the top. You can go fast this way, but go slow that way, or you'll end up with white streaks like that. And that is not going to work very well. If you want it to be pretty, make it neat. Neat is always pretty. If you make it neat, it starts out pretty, and it can only get better. If you make it sloppy, well, you can make a great drawing look not so great if you slop the color on. You can make a drawing that didn't turn out very well beautiful by coloring it neatly. It's a great thing about art. The color can do wonderful things to your picture if you color neatly. Alright, that's it. I'm going to play some music while you color, and I sure hope this project was fun.